is up, Ham Radio? Kilo Echo 8, Papa Zone November, the Ham Radio Adventure Guy. Thanks for stopping by, your one stop for everything Adventure Radio. It is Hump Day, time for the Hump Day Happy Hour, and time for the stream that I dread all year long every year, because we all know I don't like goals. Anyway, before we get started, let's go ahead and give a big shout out to these guys. The only reason I'm able to do half of my goals because, I couldn't afford to do it, that's for sure. Thank you very much to all the Patreons. And then these guys right here. Just as equally as important, just the list ain't as big. I don't know why it's not as big, but we need to change that. And then there's one more list. And before I get to this next list, first I want to give a shout out to Bruce for the all-stream donation. India Charlie Papa, once again, he's like clockwork. Right before the stream, he's donating. But then, Terry has been number one from the get-go of this quarter. And last stream, Dan really provoked Steven into trying to get me to do a rove. And then he dropped a big super chat and took over the lead. He was getting ready to do the list for this stream. And then right before that, somebody else hit with a huge donation and moved from 10th place to first. And this is the current stats.
Coming in from behind.
We got Mr. Sea-Doo in first place, Steven in second, and Terry gets bumped down to third. Hey guys, there is still like 4 or 5 days left for Terry to come back from this. So we can't count him out yet. So anyway, we got a crew here tonight. Good crew. Dan's already got signage.
Uh-oh. Watch out.
That's my sorry. Oh, he's trying to give cash on stream. Everybody watch out. That's funny.
Oh, Terry.
Terry, you need more ones for James's show.
Terry thinks he's on his OnlyFans stream again. He's showing the one.
He could just put him in the underwear.
That's true.
If Terry would put back half of what he's making off that underwear that he steals, there's no way Dan would ever catch it. Anyway, all right, we're gonna get this started because it's a night that I don't even want to hear. I told everybody I was just gonna turn my headphones off and not listen to their goals. That way I don't have any at the end. But we'll see how it turns out. Toby, what did he just say?
Am I going to do 100 activations?
Oh, 100 activations for Toby. That'd be a good one. We'll see if Toby's going to do that. And also, you know what? He just popped in here. I got to say thank you very much for the late Christmas present that I just found out about from PP Man today. So it'll help me do something that I need to do. We'll just say. All right. Who wants to start? I know James ain't going to start, and I know I'm going to go last. So
we got to draw straws. I mean, nobody's going to speak up here.
Don't everybody start. All right, Hayden's going to start. All right, Hayden, what's your goal for 2024?
Well, I have one. And since last year when you guys started all this CW stuff and going out and activating and learning CW, I think my one goal for this year is to get proficient at CW and learn it and activate with it and hunt with it. I've struggled. I've tried ever since I was a little kid. My two great uncles were hams, and they always tried to get me. They'd give me the records to listen to the code practice and stuff like that, and I never had an ear for it. So I'm just going to sit down, and I'm starting out with Morris Mania.
That'll do it.
I know 4 letters.
All right.
And it should be fun.
Well, I'm going to say that's an awesome goal, Hayden. quite a few people got into it after myself and James did our first CW massacre that we did on December 31st of last year. I don't think neither one of us was remotely ready for that crap, but we both made it through, and unfortunately, I haven't stopped doing it and have done it every day since. So I'm just going to warn you, hey, it can become addicting.
Oh yeah.
It can become very addicting.
Well, you and Dan have inspired me to do it with all the shenanigans you guys got going on with your Morse code. And then Kyle, he's been I've watched some of his videos and he's been a good inspiration too. So
he is a great mother figure for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle was an awesome mother figure. All right. So that's the only one you got for next year?
That's all I'm going to think about doing.
I hope you guys let me off that easy too. All right. So we'll just drop it down right underneath you, and we'll go to Terry. I know his goal is for this year is to reclaim his lead, and and just to demolish Dan. Terry, listen, there is a Nissan dealership. You can go get me one of those. You know what? Don't even fool with the Nissan. Just go straight and get me one of those Thor camper vans, and I promise you, Dan won't be able to touch you.
He's right.
That's my tip for this. That's my tip for the string, Terry. All right, go ahead and tell your goals, Terry.
Well, my big goal is I'm going to try to work a park every day. And I want to try to activate at least once a week. And I want to do a 10-park rove. And I want to activate some new states. And I want to activate some new parks in West Virginia. So
some new parks in West Virginia. Some new parks in West Virginia.
Some new parks to me in West Virginia.
I was like, oh, cool. You're going to get somebody to answer their email?
We don't need any new parks in West Virginia right now.
Yes, we do. We need one, Toby. It would be no problem for you to get. I promise.
Alrighty.
All right. So that's some pretty good goals. You know, Terry, I would like to see you do a lot more parks in West Virginia because I would like to hunt all of West Virginia. And, you know, there's some good activators in West Virginia, but they all kind of do the same stuff over and over again. So
Terry,
I'd like
Wallback.
When you go to Lost River and when you go to Blackwater Falls, let me know. I'll try and be in the area.
I'll definitely go back to Lost River because
somebody needs to find that river.
Yeah. Boom. Big super chat. Big super chat. Thank you very much, Mike. I'm sure he's moving up in the list right here for that one.
Get it? 73.
He's just paying the YouTube hamsters.
Oh, deal. All right. So I know Terry will go back to Lost River because he's got property up there. So.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yep.
Is that near inbreeding?
No, that's the opposite. It is close to Hayden, actually. Pretty close to Hayden.
Yeah,
Hardy County.
It is the last park that I did in West Virginia. And it's about a 6-hour drive for me, and it's uphill both ways. And when I say uphill, I mean uphill.
Yeah.
It's funny because I did that park and spent $120 in gas to go there and back. And then shortly after that, I went to Florida and spent $140 to get to Florida.
It's all downhill from there. I mean, you can coast from West Virginia to Florida.
You know, I do have the Nissan, but it's now a antenna mount. But anyway, once it got out of West Virginia, you know, it went from 12 miles to about 17 or 18. It's just West Virginia just demolishes gas. So, all right, Toby, you or Dan?
I have something on my paper, so I guess I can go.
Ladies.
All right.
So I'm planning to do several special events, and I know it's still this year, but Friday I'm going to be doing Whiskey 2 Tango, the Battle of Trenton with our club, and it's at Apota Park. 6 kilos 6432, Washington Crossing Historic Park. So I'm supposed to be on the air around 10 o'clock in the morning. Hopefully, if the antenna is up on time, then I'll be on around 10. And there's a sign up sheet, so there'll be other people going to be on at various times as well. But that's this, I know it's this year, but it's something coming up. But the following week, targeting to do the Battle of Princeton, Whiskey 2 Papa. And we don't have a date yet because we'll be watching the weather, but that would be at kilo 1628. So we'll watch how that goes. And do a couple other special events through the year. Let's see, November 2, India, which is National Inventors Day. That'll be at a park as well. That's in February. So see how that goes. Planning to activate with some other New Jersey activators at their home parks. So we'll see how that goes. And I am looking into some details of going to activate in another state. I've already spoke to somebody at their home park for their home park, and they said, yes, come on down. So planning to go to another state and activate with probably several hams down there. And I need to practice my CW more because I've been tripping over myself at times. So I too need to go back to the basic Morse Mania and kind of brush up a little and get a little better at that. And it is exciting when you can say, all right, let me try this other activator. And then they hear you and you hear your call sign back that you haven't gone to a CW with them yet. So that is very exciting that you can get somebody new to hear you. So that's very exciting. So I got to learn my CW a little better.
You know, I gotta agree with you because I still get excited when I hunt. When I hunt, and now everybody knows I'm talking about soda, not Poda. But
Yeah.
when I hunt and I hear the person call my call sign back, it gets me every time. I was like, yeah, I still got this stuff because you know I do a lot of CW, but most of the time it's not me sending my call sign out to get somebody to come back to me. Most of the time it's you guys hunting me. So it's still quite exciting just when you send it out in the pile and you get to come back. I'll agree with you with that.
Yeah, so that's really my list. So I will be out activating more, and we'll see how that all goes. It should be fun.
Good deal. I'm gonna assume that your club has a Poda account already, right?
Their Whiskey 2 Zulu Quebec is there. Oh yes, they have an account, but it'll be under these special events stations. Whiskey 2 Tango, Whiskey 2 Papa, and they also do War of the Worlds in October. Whiskey Zero Whiskey. That's fun too. That's not a Poda Park. It is in a park, but it's not a Poda Park. And then we'll do other parks just with the club throughout the year as well. But to be dates are to be determined.
Good deal. Good deal. All right, we're moving fast. I'm gonna drop the link in here in case anybody else wants to come in and share their goals as well, because we are moving a little fast, and I definitely don't want to talk about my goals for 40 some minutes. So all right, Dan, we're gonna move to you.
I'm gonna try not to kill anybody.
That's always a goal.
Yeah, I think try to be a better person. Don't commit any homicides, stuff like that. No, CW. I'm gonna focus on CW next year. That's I don't have any numbers to put with it. I'm not going to put any numbers with it, but I'm going to focus on numbers for next year. On CW rather, and I am planning another epic 15 state row over the summer sometime.
So when you say you're going to focus on CW, like you mean hunting, activating?
Yeah, activate.
Oh, okay. Are you still going to continue to hunt the same way you do now on everything?
Probably more CW. I've been focusing a lot of CW hunting the last month and a half to get to a goal that I wanted, just a personal goal for next year, which was 6,500 CW contacts, which I got through earlier this month. So, yep. I'll probably a lot of the same, but a lot more activating with CW for next year. I got to get my copy skills up. I think that's going to help me. So,
Dan, you should write a script and find out of the 6,500 how many of them was me.
I can look back in my log. Yeah.
I mean, it won't be half of them, but I bet it's a good number.
It might be half of them.
And the bad thing is a lot of your sideband contacts with me are also CW, because Dan will hunt me all day long on CW when I'm on sideband even.
Yeah, but I log those as sideband. So, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But no, so not much for me really. Like I said, I don't have any numbers I'm going to put out, because I'm not going to say I want to make this many CW contacts. That's an activator. So, but it'll be over a kilo, which won't be hard to do.
So you're not saying that you're going to do 5,000 and then
no,
just annihilate.
No. And then I have to change. Then I'll have to change my goal halfway through the year. So okay, 10,000.
Now wait. In my defense, I stuck pretty much true to what I said. I said I wasn't going to add no new goals.
Mm-hmm.
And then, it got November and I was bored. and I said, I'm so close to 20,000 CW contacts. And I could probably do 100,000 sideband on top of that.
I'll probably, I don't know if I want to make it a goal for next year, but it's something that I want to do. I have the 5, 10, and 15 park rows, and I want to get the other 2. So, or other 3, other 2. Yeah, whatever. So,
I think I need 2 of them. 1 or 2. I don't know. I know I need the 25, but I think I might need the 20 as well.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and add that to my list for next year, too. One of those things, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I'm not too mad about it. But I'm really wanting to focus on the CW more next year. Get a lot better copy, because that's my weak point right now. So.
Dan, are you looking to eagle some parks at CW?
That probably my home park. I'll end up eagling on CW, because it's close to me, and that's where I'm going to run the majority of my CW. So I expect to get at least 1,000 there by the end of the next year on CW. Yeah.
If we knew somebody on the POTA dev team that could make it happen, to where you had like CW and sideband endorsements, I bet a lot more people would try for stuff like that. If we knew somebody like that, I don't know anybody like that. Nothing.
DC in a day, huh?
DC in a day is the one park open that was closed forever, because I knew we were going to try it before. And
James, yeah, I thought about adding that to my goals for this year, getting my extra, but it would be just to say I did, because I'm not really missing not having my extra right now, if that makes any sense. The only couple of times, only maybe a handful of times this year, I wished I had an extra when I was chasing a DX or something that was a little bit low in the band, but other than that, I'm not really missing it. So I'm personally not really motivated to take that time to get my extra. even though I know it's just slam and cram for 2 weeks and go take it. But I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing in my head, you know.
That was a
You
fun.
know, I would say, first off, thanks, James Jenner, for your 2 months as a YouTube member. But James has also been a Patreon for a very long time. So he's been a supporter for a while. But, I would say that I never use my extra. But then every now and then when I'm in the field and just forget totally what I'm doing because I've done 4 million parks that day.
You use it
And
on
I just can't find the frequency, and I'm just scrolling around and I find the frequency and I just start calling CQ on it. And Dan sits there and listens to the whole activation, just seeing what generals are working me. Because I'm legal there.
There's one.
I'd say 1 a.m. on January 1st.
I will do no QRP in 2024. How you think it'll last? I say January the 1st. Yeah, I'm going to mention him because he does have a goal next year. And this is going to get the headache goal of the year award. PP Man says that he's going to do no QRO at all in 2024. So,
And I'll make sure I'm running a half a watt every time I hunt you. Hey, man, we can make it happen. We're not far apart.
all right. So Kilo Oscar 4, his goal is to activate with myself, Robbie, Eddie.
You
and
sure he's
Dan.
talking about you?
Well, I'm 99% sure he's talking about me, but he might be talking about you.
I'm probably gonna be activating with Dan, Robbie, and Eddie before you are.
When you going? January?
April.
No,
Oh,
you're
right.
not.
You're going down to COVID Fest.
And
Overstressed.
I heard a rumor through the grapevine, FSZ. I'm not going to say what you call James with it, but FSZ. That Eddie makes a really good brisket.
I'll tell you, Eddie does make a good brisket. And Chris, normally when I do go down in February, we try to make it a day over at Ovendo State Park. So last year we made it 2 days because Robbie couldn't make it one day, and Eddie, what was it? No, Robbie came one day and Eddie came the next. That's what it was, right?
Yeah, because Eddie brought the brisket and Robbie brought the poop.
So that would be pretty good, and that actually will help me with one of my goals as well if we can make that happen. So, all right, I'm gonna drop the link one more time because we're gonna have to move to James, and we all know that hopefully he'll talk forever, and I'm gonna turn my headphones down and not listen to nothing because I'm doing really good right now. Last year I came into the stream with nothing on my paper, and it scared me because I ended up with all those goals. And this year I come in with already having 2 things on my paper, so it made it really, really scary.
If you guys hear X and S at Victor Echo 1560, make sure you work them. It's a rare grid and it's an at-no park and not likely to get activated unless he goes up there again another time. So it's up there on the Hudson Bay. No, he's things haven't even frozen enough, but no, we gotta wait for an ice road to form. So
Well, just give us some notice if you get going.
yeah.
We will get our truffle better.
Does Brian do CW?
He does some.
Brian needs to start hunting me on CW so I can like me and Dan does the wolf at the end so we can do truffle butter.
That'd be great.
All right, James. I guess we're gonna move to you.
Well, good thing I can talk for days, fill in some space.
Well, you can fill in some space because we got plenty of time.
So I'm going to start with HRAG's goals. You ready to take some notes, James?
Yeah.
You're going to get to 5,000 hunted parks this year.
5,000 all hunted. Well,
He's at like 2,700 now.
no, that ain't happening.
You're going to turn into a hunter for the entire year.
That sounds good. That sounds real good.
Um,
Listen, drop $100 super chat in the chat if you believe that's going to happen. I bet I ain't getting $100.
no, I'm hoping some of my goals line up with some of James's, and that. Do we want to talk about that specifically, or just in general, James?
Buddy, you. This is your goals. This is pretty much your stream right now. So
hopefully things work out, and James can come up and hang out with myself and the other amigos up here for, I don't know, 3-4 weeks later in next year. So we're going to try to make that happen. And if that does happen, we're going to do a 50 park in the day row for sure. Potentially with 4 ops. And I'll get whatever other row levels James needs. I'll arrange 25, 20, 30, whatever he still needs to fill out his Rove Zoo. But 50 park row is definitely on the plan for 2024 for me personally. Whether it's we end up just doing it with the group or the 3 amigos or just me, I don't know. But yep, we'll put an extra saddle on the Magic Moose. So, I had to drop some of my goals from last year. I was kind of bummed about that, but I ended up having to move and cancel a trip. So ended up not having nearly as much time to go out and activate. So I did not get my 15 kilos I was hoping for. And I did get 4 or 5. 3 of them were in Virginia. And then one was in Delaware at the park we were staying at when we did Delaware in the weekend. At Easter, so that was fun. But I still got the 500 unique parks hunted, which was a goal, and 3,000 hunted, 5,000 unique parks activated. 500. Wow. Okay. Anyways, we'll try it again. 3,000 hunted. Got that I think last week. Finally, it was a close thing. But this year I'm going to try to get to 3,500 hunted. And I'm setting that goal kind of low because my activation goals are very aggressive. I'm going to try to get another 200 new to me parks activated and hit 700 during the year. And a big chunk of that's probably going to be when I'm down hanging out with Dan, which is 10th week going to be April sometime. Dan and Eddie and Robbie. And Dan, we're going to get you some of those robe levels.
Heck yeah.
We'll just figure out which ones you need, and we'll make plans for those. And but yeah, that's going to be my kind of leave here. The idea is to leave here when spring hasn't quite sprung, go away for 10 days, and then come back when spring is kind of sprung up here. It kind of get a jump on spring. So, but yeah, hopefully sometimes in April, and then hopefully if James can come up for a couple 3 weeks or something later in the year. He'll end up I know James is going to get, if he comes up, he's going to get at least 200 new to him parks, at least. So those are just the ones we can get driving, I don't know, like hour and a half each way. There's about 100,
That's crazy.
150 or 180 parks, basically in 3-hour round trip from here. So you got to think it's 2 hours to get to basically Buffalo, the border, and there's a whole. I live around lakes. We got peninsulas, we got escarpments, so there's a lot of green area. It just happens to be here. So I've been talking to my buddy that I did not go off-roading at all last year, which I was kind of bummed about. I go dirt bike riding with my buddy Pat a lot, and because of moving and all this other stuff, we didn't go at all. So we're going to try to make up for that next year, and we've been looking at some of the atnos that you have to off-road to get to. We're doing some cross-checking on the trail maps and stuff. It looks like we're going to be able to dirt bike or four-wheel and do some day trips into some of these atnos that are hard to get to. So I'm looking forward to getting some riding time and radio time, and maybe I can twist his arm into getting a license and get another POTA activator. every time I bring up his jokes about having another hobby he doesn't have time for, but if
Yeah.
we mix it with bikes, maybe we can get him on.
Speaking of license, I'm going to try to upgrade to general this year.
Yeah.
The one thing I'm going to make a point of, probably 2 or 3 attempts, maybe, is speed kilo. We talked about it last year a little bit of going to a park we've never been to and just seeing how long it takes us to get a kilo. The eventual goal is to get a kilo in a UTC day, but I think it's going to be another year or two before we see that happening. I know somebody who's possibly done it, single op 2 radios, but I'm we'll see. My best one, I have to look at. I didn't get a chance to run the report, but my best one's somewhere in the 3.5, not quite 4 UTC days for a kilo.
You'd have to have a dedicated following and be able to do all the bands and all the modes.
Yeah, exactly. I think in order to do that, I'm going to have to get a little bit better at CW. Because while as James mentioned, I did go bang out on New Year's Eve last year, got that 2023 goal out of the way before the year started. I've only done about 50 CW contacts this year, and about a third of those are probably with Dan.
Yeah.
But Dan I used CW to get a couple of bands for 10 band at some of the parks I was at. So I'm still working on it. I got, like James, I got the added challenge of being hearing impaired. So I'm learning my way around that. My hearing impairment is slightly different than his. So, but yeah, I'll get there. So I am going to be taking a couple trips. One down to Georgia, obviously I talked about, and then because my wife and I were not able to take our planned trip last year, we've kind of doubled up. We're hoping to do quite a big one on 2024, which may include me activating in Alaska. So if that does come through, I will potentially be at the point of only needing, at the end of that trip, I'll be potentially at the point of only needing 2 more states to activate all US. One of those being Hawaii, but I'll have DC as a wild card, so I could potentially before the end of the year potentially have activate all US without Hawaii, and I'll also have a big chunk of Canada done. So, those are there's a lot of travel involved. So I'm working towards activating all the provinces and all the states, and whichever ones I get. And but yeah, I'm not interested in the big numbers. Like I realize even with the kilos, the speed kilo is an interesting thing, but like I'm not going to go out and bang out contacts just for kilos. Partly because a lot of my POTA time is spent doing stuff that unfortunately I can't talk about yet related to POTA. Which is why I haven't been out activating this week. I think the last time I activated was the last big Three Amigos road. You guys have probably noticed this year you haven't worked me. You haven't worked me much this year, except on the big roads, and that's just because I'm spending. You all right, Terry?
Probably his knee.
So you won't get me out as much, but I'm going to be activating a lot. One of the interesting things is I'm going to be going through Winnipeg if this west trip happens. And Winnipeg, the city of Winnipeg, there's about 50 parks in the immediate area of the city of Winnipeg. And I think only like 9 of them have been activated, 10 of them or something like that. So like there's a whole cluster of Atnos. And I ponder not say anything, but maybe it will motivate the 2 or 3 hams that actually do POTA out there to actually activate them. But if they don't, I'm going to get a bunch of Atnos and do potentially a 25 or 30 park rove in Winnipeg, and that might make me the top activator in Manitoba, which will be truly sad if I'm just there for like 2 days. But yeah, it's obviously I'm also working with people. We've seen a major growth of POTA in Canada this last year and a half. I'm sure you've all noticed the Victor Echo calls coming out of the woodwork, and doing what I can to support that, and it's been fun. But keeping up the growth is taking a lot of time, Yeah, I am on the POTA dev team. We have a backlog of work, a lot of stuff with awards and some of the numbers, so it's a balance of that. But yeah, it should be fun. I'm looking forward to a good year. But you're going to hear me, a lot of my activations during the year are going to be with my U.S. call sign. For those of you that don't know, it's November 6th, November Romeo Delta, a nerd from California. So, don't be surprised if one day you hear me as N6NRD and the next day you hear me as B3JLN, because on my trip there's going to be a little bit of border hopping just with the route I'm taking. So I could potentially be both within hours of each other at different parks.
I seem to remember that call.
Yeah. I was your first kilo.
Yeah. First kilo, long time ago. It seems like it. It really wasn't that long ago, though.
It was 2021, May, I want to say. May 2021 or something like that.
Something like that.
I mean, that was really the first time you and I mean, I'd hunted you a couple times before that, but that was like, we had a little rag chew there when I was your first kilo.
Yeah.
I missed your 10K because I was sick as a dog that day and I couldn't get out of bed at that park at Cheap Loading.
And I messaged him because I really wanted him to try to have a shot at getting in at the 10K contact.
Yeah, every time I even tried to roll out of bed, I was like rolling towards the porcelain. So there was no way I was going down to the radio. So
now I'm coming up on like my 25K contact.
Is it? I thought it was 19. Like I think it's 19. So yeah, hopefully there's a lot going on with POTA behind the scenes. I know it seems like everything's just kind of going hunky dory with the site and log uploads work and all this stuff, but there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, and hopefully at some point we'll be able to start talking about it and potentially some exciting new things to keep growing. But yeah, we're obviously, everybody knows about adding new U.S. parks, and that's been going gangbusters. But the whole time we've been adding parks and around the world, and we've experienced a few challenges there. The growth has been crazy. We have like almost 50,000 registered users in POTA now. So of course, with growth comes a little bit of pain. So it's takes a little effort.
I'm sorry, I've got my 25K.
Do you?
Yeah, I've got 25,787. I'm coming up on 26.
Well, congratulations. I don't think I have a double anywhere, but like I said, I'm not going anywhere and banging the contacts like that anymore.
Well, but believe it or not, here lately, that park is getting requested. And I'm like, what?
It doesn't surprise me. We have a lot of new, just based off the number of accounts that sign up. We have a lot of new hunters. So, even if you've been to a park 100 times, there's potentially 100 new people who signed up in the last month who've never hunted it. Oh, yeah. So it's going to be a new to them park. So keep going back to your haunts, because either people are eagling them or it's a new to them park. Or
I've noticed that a lot on Facebook too. A lot of people that I've never seen their call signs before are asking questions. I'm like, all right, this is cool. I love it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of new activators as well.
There are. Sure. Yeah.
And I will tell you what, if you are a new activator or a new hunter, I would suggest going over and joining my Discord, because that is where you'll get the real information about POTA. If you ask these questions on the POTA Facebook page, you're going to get bashed by people who've been doing POTA for a while, and it's not a friendly place anymore. Like it's horrible. I get mad on it once a week.
It's unfortunately, the Facebook group has gone a little towards the QR's east side of the spectrum lately, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, it's just every time somebody asks, an elementary question, they just absolutely get bashed on there, and it makes me sick. We're trying to get new people to come in and do this, and you guys are just running them off because you've been doing POTA for 6 months and you think you know it all.
I just dropped our Discord link in the chat, and if you ask a question there and if anybody gives you grief about it, you just let me know.
You let us know. Yeah.
We will hold you and love you forever.
Well, that's a step too far, but
Is it? Is it though?
I'll force hug you like Darth Vader does.
There you go.
I'm direct messaging Dan now and telling him my feelings was hurt.
There
So.
you go.
So I do have one special thing coming up. I don't know when it's going to happen. Like I said, I'm not activating a lot, but my 1,000th activation will happen in 2024 at some point.
Nice.
So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. If I'm going to do a special park or you know what, but it is coming up.
Are you going to do it in Canada or in the U.S.?
Depends where I'm at. I'm not gonna, it's fine either way. But I mean, I think I need what 29 activations.
I think you should do it. I think you need to do it in Kilo 1810. That'll be a new one for me. So.
Oh, there you go.
I need for successful, or 10 plus activations. I need 29 to get to 1,000. So. Yeah, like I said, it'll depend. I'm gonna go out and make sure I activate and hunt for New Year's, obviously, but over the winter I've got a lot of stuff to do if I want to take these trips. So I'm kind of not gonna push it. It's gonna happen when it happens. But when I'm close, I'll let everybody know, and I'll figure out if I can do something extra fun, or maybe that'll be my first speed kilo attempt.
So explain this speed kilo a little more.
Yeah, so this kind of mostly came out of a conversation Dan and I had, actually. The idea is to go to a park you haven't activated before. So you're literally going from 0 to 1,000 just as quick as you can. And no rules. If you want to use multiple radios, fine. If you want to do multiple, modes, bands, whatever. How you do it is okay as long as it's within the rules. But the idea is just to get a kilo as quick as you can. Whatever you're comfortable with. If that means you operate 6 hours a day and it takes you a week, cool. That might be a speed kilo for you. So it's not, kilo in a day obviously is the ultimate goal. But just, the idea is to just, when you go to a park and you're going to try for a kilo and, a new park, it's just build upon, last time. Obviously, conditions are going to play havoc. So you might have the perfect setup and you might have the most perfect SWR you've ever had. And a lightning storm is the next county over and you're screwed, right? Like you never know what's going to happen. So the idea is not to, it's to be competitive, but with yourself and more so than anything. So that's all it is. It's just, if you have a kilo, look at how long it took you to get it and then go and see if you can do better than that. And with as many hunters as we have and the way the sunspot cycle is now, it's going to get easier for a little while. There's going to be an optimum role here where we can potentially have, and we'd like to see, as many people as want to try it, obviously. I think, was it Cody earlier that popped up and said it was on his list too? Yeah, it's please, if that's something that you're interested in, go for it. Let us know you're trying it. I'm sure we will all try you on as many bands and modes as we can. Some of us are willing to, stay up an hour later. I am not willing to get up an hour earlier for you. So you're screwed there. But I will stay up an hour later to help you. But that's the idea. Is just do what we can, and then I will be writing. I don't know if I'm going to be able to implement it into the website or not, but I'll have some sort of report. Just see from first contact to last contact. How many hours and minutes. It took to get a kilo for those that are interested, and I'll have some kind of report at some point if there's enough people trying it. But that's basically what it is. It's like the Bailey Sprott. It's not an official challenge. It's more of just one reason I decided not to go and just pound out for regular kilos is because for me it gets a little boring. I want to keep doing new things like keep working on activating all states and but I love making contacts. I just have wow. I'm proving it right now. I have an attention span of a small gnat sometimes, and going and sitting, on a park bench or in a tent, banging out, bang out contacts hour after hour is not the most fun all the time.
Let me ask you a quick question, James.
Yeah.
How many different modes are there to count as a different contact? Like
So
you and I work.
Yeah.
How many modes would we have? Do we have available to work that they're different contacts?
So POTA, when we do the results and stuff, we have 3 mode groups. We have basically phone, CW, and data. But
Okay.
basically the modes are those covered by the ADIF spec. So within phone, you've got FM, SSB, AM.
So if I worked you on one frequency on sideband, one frequency on AM, that doesn't count as 2 separate contacts
It
within
does.
the same band?
It
Oh,
does. It does. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it is a different mode. When we report it, it shows as phone for both, but it does count as a distinct contact.
So out of the realm of all these modes, how many different contacts can you and I make with just using different modes on the same band?
Different modes on the same band. Well, I mean, it depends. Like, I don't do slow scan or anything like that, so I'm basically stuck with.
Well, slow scan would count as digital, right?
Yeah, but it's still a different mode, and it's a different ADIF mode, right? So,
okay.
yeah, so it'll show as a digital contact in POTA on your stats, but it's still a unique. It's still a unique
So
contact.
we have at least 10 different modes.
Oh yeah, at least.
Oh yeah. Depending on what you set for, and then of course you're looking at 10 to 13 bands depending on what mode you're doing. So you could potentially do like I said, even if you're not doing CW, and let's say you're just doing FT8 and sideband and maybe some AM and maybe some FM if you got some close friends.
FT8, you can do PSK.
Yeah, that's true, and even FT4.
And FT4. So if you get
like
10 people that are dedicated, and you can work all the bands,
you're looking at what's that 60? Well, that's 60 contacts, something like that. For 10 people, 10 bands.
10 people and 10 bands, that's 100 contacts.
Well, yeah, sorry. Times say 6 modes, that's 600.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, exactly. So, yeah. So, and that's what it comes down to, and that's where I'm looking at the challenge of, do I want to try with 2 radios? Because I personally have the advantage of I can solve the whole crosstalk or killing the front end of another radio nearby, because I can set up my digital radio in the camper, for doing FT8, and I can remote it from my computer, and I can be out on the picnic bench 120 feet away doing sideband, right?
See, we wouldn't even need to do that. We set up a page in Discord. You get 10 of us in there, and we all work through every band and every mode.
Yep.
I'm gonna run sideband and CW at the same time.
Oh, that'd make my head hurt.
So, So it theoretically, you could potentially, if you had the right group of people, as you're saying, Hayden, we could potentially do a QSL party kind of, band mode combination thing that you could possibly do it in 2 hours. Because I mean, you're still looking at a couple minutes for an FT8 contact.
Then you've got to worry about propagation and all that other crap with the different bands.
So if you have a group of 25 or 30 people, which is not a problem for us in Discord.
Yeah.
If you had 25 or 30 people, and you could just get any 10 of them on any given band mode combination, you're set.
All right, sign me up. I'm ready.
Yeah, so I'm kind of thinking that it could potentially get really crazy when we get some really speedy, kilos, and that could be interesting and fun.
There's another one. WinLink.
How did this guy get a kilo in 25 minutes?
Well, that's the whole point.
It's an email chain.
I'll tell you how. T8.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how he signed up for the Discord for Ham Radio Adventure Guy.
Yeah. One other thing I am working on. I've found that I don't like straight keys and paddles. I am working on a touchpad CW.
Like a capacitive?
Oh,
Just
somebody-
literally a touchpad, like 2 laptop buttons kind of style, where it's soft
Nice.
touch, but you can use 2 fingers, just like a paddle, but it's 2
Yeah.
fingers. I find that a lot more natural for me than this.
I like that idea.
Yeah. So yeah. Shut up, Dan.
You can, yeah, you can use those capacitive touchpads.
Yeah. So actually, I was playing with the other day, and I figured out one finger's a dit and 2 fingers a daw, right?
Yeah.
So you can, like, if you're used to clicking a mouse like a lot of us computer geeks are, and you have a soft touch, like it can go really fast. Oh, shut up, Hayden, dirty old man. So
Just when I thought it was safe to unmute.
Oh Lord.
Hey.
I'm trying hard to be the shepherd.
all right, James, I left you an entire like 9.5 minutes. Look at that.
9.5 minutes. I don't even know if I have that much. All right.
What did you write down in the last 20 minutes? That's the question.
Did you write down the stuff I told you you're doing? That
Yeah.
should save you a lot of trouble.
I'm not doing the hunter thing that he told me I'm doing.
Okay, well, you're still going to do the 50 Park Road with us.
If I'm not making that as a goal, because I can't say that Canada's going to happen, because I plan on coming. I'm planning on October. It's already, process. I've already started filling out the paperwork and everything. So I can't say that it's going to happen, because you don't know.
And by the way, if he does make it up here in October, all of you guys have just lost the leaderboard.
They're gonna send you
By
back your
the time I finish paying for that,
they're gonna send you back your passport with a wax seal on it.
So that depends on more than just me, because that depends on James, and not that James don't want to come through with it, but if something could happen with him that I'm out of control of, so I'm not going to put that on my goals.
oh, you got Brian and Tom.
But the thing is that is in my plan for the next year. I plan on traveling a lot more next year, but that's not really a goal thing. But it's traveling to do POTA. There's this is Ham Radio Adventure Guy, and I plan. I went full time YouTube this year. I wasn't supposed to do that till the beginning of the year, but it's already happened. So I'm getting back into my whole beginnings of adventure radio. I kind of got absorbed with the only POTA thing, and before everybody starts freaking out, I'm still planning on being very active in POTA. Don't think I'm not. I just would like to let when a king runs a kingdom for so long and nobody tries to overthrow him, he gets bored and he sits around and he gets fat and he gets to gout and he dies. So I'm going to open it up next year, and I'm challenging people to make a run next year, and let me see what you got, and then that way I can come back the next year and show you don't have what I have. I still plan on being in the top 7 to 10 in all of the categories in POTA besides digital. So I'm not.
Besides what?
Besides digital. I don't do it.
But you're not in the top 7 to 10 in all categories.
I'm in the top 5 in all categories besides
you're
digital.
not. No, you're
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, but
Nope.
after I dropped out. I dropped out on parks, and then after today, I'm back in the top 5. This year,
not.
James, not all time.
Oh, this year. Oh, this year. Okay.
Yeah, not all time.
Yeah.
Well, this year that's lame.
Well, that's not.
Oh hell! If I'd have known I was that close to you, I could have come and put you down. If you were going off of just 1 year at a time. Tell you what, let's race for activated parks next year.
Hey guys,
I don't want to do numbers.
is it too loud where I'm at?
Here's my thing. I'm welcoming you to make a run next year, and if I think you're worthy, the next year we'll compete at something. But I mean, honestly, look at the top five in and again, I did fall out in parks, but I have it. I'm back in the top 5 in park after today. That's why I had to go on the road today. But activations, parks,
Actually, you're number 6, brother.
not after today.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing left in the queue, and you're 3 short.
That I was 3 short going into today, and I did 6 parks.
Okay, we'll wait for tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't see anything in the queue to process, but yeah.
But yeah, I was 3 going into the day. Anyway, but activations, parks, total QSOs, CW, and side and total fun. You won't find another name that's in the top 5 of all of those. I promise you. But anyway, I'm trying to let somebody make a run at next year to see who's worthy. You know, I don't want to get fat and get to go out and die. So I'm gonna focus this year. I'm gonna focus on being a healthy ham and an adventure ham. So
don't get the beatus.
So my goal for this year is I'm going to do the Greenbrier Trail. It is a 78-mile trail. I'm going to mountain bike it and do a Poda Rove. There's a possibility of 5 to 7 parks that I can hit right off of the Greenbrier Trail. So I'm going to do. I'm going to take 3 days and do it. I can probably do it in 2, but I'm going to enjoy myself more. So I'm going to do it in 3 days. Do the 78-mile Greenbrier Trail. I don't know how far some of those are, but it's 5 to 7 parks that I can get on that trail. That's goal number 1. Number 2, I want to do a hike in camping PODA activation where I hike in, do a trail camp, and activate that night from there. Number 3, I want to activate with 10 new Patreons. 10 Patreons that I have not activated with already. And I've activated with a lot of my Patreons. So, you know, that if you're looking to activate with me and you're a Patreon, reach out to me and let's make that happen. And number 4, what the heck? Let's do the kilo in a day. I'll do the kilo in a day. Now I'm not going to go to a park and start at 0. I'll start from number whatever I'm at and I'll just do 1,000 in a day. From UTC to UTC day. And that's it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah. I mean, Dan and I talked about doing it starting from 0 at a new to us part, just because we wanted to add that. But yeah, I mean, just going in and trying to get 1,000 contacts in one day is still a pretty
valid,
aggressive.
I mean, well, here's the thing with me. For me to get to a new park that I have 0 contacts, I'm automatically looking at 4 hours minimum drive. Just like I'm going to do a lot of new states. I wanted to say I want to do 10 new states, but you got to look too. I'm looking at 6+ hours just to get to a new state for me. And
are you going to keep working on Kentucky?
I am going to keep working on Kentucky, but I'm not going to make it as a goal next year. I probably will finish Kentucky next year, but it's
you know you're the state leader for most parks in Kentucky.
That don't surprise me.
Yeah,
that does not surprise me.
Well, you know, if October works out and you come up here, there's a couple spots we can set you up to do a kilo in a new to you park. Not a problem. So that's still a possibility for you.
Yeah, well, it's going to be cold up there in October.
No, it's not.
Cold to me.
It was rain today. It's not even cold up here right now.
What's the temp in October? Average temp.
We wear t-shirts most days. It's not that bad. And remember, I'm from Southern California and Texas. I don't like the cold either.
Everybody swears that it's going to be cold up there in October.
No, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
They don't
And besides,
call it the Great White North for nothing.
My camper has a heater. Like, you're gonna be sitting in the back of my camper. You see my setup. It won't matter what the temperature is outside or what the weather is.
No, well then I could kilo in a day in a camper. That's different.
Yeah. Hey, there's no rules about you don't have to go outside and rough it. Like, as long as you're in a valid park.
Yeah, and unfortunately, a kilo a day, I will have to do FTA, guys. Sorry.
Say that again.
Shut up. No, I won't say it again.
But yeah, I mean, if you come up for 2, 3, 4 weeks, whatever it is, like I can't take the whole time off, so you're gonna be stuck with THR and X and S sometimes, and some days you might be by yourself. So like, let's put you in the camper and go to town, buddy.
Do you trust those three together unsupervised?
What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, you know.
Wait. If I bring Brian truffle butter across the border, am I going to get like detained?
You have to pay
Probably.
duty. You have to pay.
They might not know what it is. They might just confiscate it.
Yeah. I see Pat drop in here. I guess he had some goals and then dropped out.
He had a lot of background noise, though.
I don't know.
Hey, is the noise still pretty bad? Is the noise bad still? I'm good now.
Here's the thing. My other thing is I'm going to get way more proficient in CW. I know
Yeah.
I'll get 20,000 some contacts this year, and I could do POTA all day long, but I want to literally be able to, if some guy wants me to spell the part for him, I understood that he said that, and I'm going to spell the part for him. Not really. I'm going to say you're an idiot. But I want to be able to understand that he said that. So
Please reference the POTA page.
yeah. All right, Pat, you're in here. Let's get you before you drop. What you got?
Hey, yeah. So, thanks for letting me in. I don't know what's going on with that audio. I have like these headsets, and like I don't know, it picks up everything if I don't set it up right. So, I'm glad it's sounding better now. But yeah, I've been out of it for a while, like you guys might have seen, and really just trying to get back into it. I got a lot of goals. Like one of the ones I put in the chat is 3 countries at least, not including the United States, obviously. So like right now, I'm for sure going to Guatemala in January. If that's happening, and I'm submitting the paperwork. Well, I have it done. I have to submit it tomorrow. Then also maybe Canada, maybe, and maybe somewhere in Europe. I haven't for sure thought about it yet, and I might be taking a road trip this summer too. So it's a lot of traveling. I guess that's really most of my goals is just traveling, and getting the channel back up and running. I just had like a hard year. I'm gonna make a video tomorrow or sometime this week and all about it. So got a new call sign. It's actually assigned today. I signed up for it like back on the 7th or something. So now if you guys see N3PEM, that's me. Yeah, also not kind of like a community challenge of like everybody becoming an Elmer to somebody, because like there's a guy who reached out to me in the club. He doesn't have a call sign or anything yet. And, like I'm kind of Elmering him, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been like a really rewarding experience. So like I definitely recommend like everybody like try to find somebody to Elmer. It's definitely like it's been a really really rewarding experience doing that.
I wasn't going to let it out on this stream because I'm going to do a whole stream about it, and I'm still not going to let out the details on this stream. But I do want people to know out there that I will be doing a POTA Youth Challenge this year. So if you parents, if your kids do POTA and you think they should be in this challenge, you might want to get up with me in the next little bit. I have picked a lot of the contestants already. But it's going to be pretty epic, and I'm going to do a whole stream on it, so I'm not going to touch on it. But it's going to be really, really good thing for the kids this year. So that's kind of in my Elmer range right there.
Yeah, just like you, James, I've been working on CW as well. I'm working on getting more proficient on it as much as possible. Like 20, 30 minutes a day, I've been at least practicing, if not doing it. So that's been a lot of fun too.
Yeah, and there you go. There's the discount code to the Three Amigos. Got a couple more days left in the year if you want to get in on that discount code. So make sure and check that out and give James and Brian and Tom some support, because
It goes right in the gas tank. We don't do anything else with it.
yeah, that's what That's like the other day. Steven donated $100 on the channel, and the very next day that went right out in gas. But a lot of people got a lot of parks that day. So, all right, and that's about it for the goal stream, I guess. Here's the big thing: I made it through the stream without really adding a whole lot. I added the kilo in a day, and I added the because Toby was talking about activating with new people, and I was like, I'm just gonna set a Patreon specific goal. So that was a good thing. And don't worry, my Patreons I've activated with before. Don't think I'm not gonna ignore you guys still, because it's too much fun to get with you guys all the time. But I want to get 10 new ones. But a lot of traveling, and let's see if I can make it the whole year without adding any more goals to myself. Because here's the big kicker. When January and February comes around and I start watching people's numbers grow, does it just kick in and be like, forget this. I can't sit here. I got to be on top. That's the problem with me. But hopefully my active goals with POTA, you're going to see a lot of more bicycle activations, kayak activations, hiking activations, more stuff like that from me this year. This winter's been kind of a rough winter on me, and I've had to be in the car a little too much. I don't like it at all. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm not clicking, Hayden.
Somebody is.
It ain't me.
I thought we broke you of that habit.
It ain't me this time.
I thought we were saluting the Air Force.
Anyway, I'm heading over to the after chat. If you're not a Patreon and want to check out the after chats, you can go over to Patreon and try it for 7 days free, and then message myself or Dan or Hayden, and we'll get you in there tonight, and you can check it out and see what it's all about. Other than that, thanks everybody for the donations. Thanks for all the guests who came on and shared their goals. I'm shocked they didn't talk me into more. I really am. I'm doing good.
I'm trying to be less manipulative, James. So
but here's the thing. If Canada works out, and it's 100% in my plans to make Canada happen, yep, I'm totally down for the 50 Park Road.
Yeah,
I'm totally down for that.
Oh, and that's just gonna be one day. Think about what we're gonna do the rest of the month or whatever it is.
Well, that's the problem. I'm gonna get up there in Canada, and I'm like, holy crap! I've played around all year, and I can start in October and beat everybody. What's this?
Yep.
You know what?
I mean, just think of all the Larry and Dave and all these other guys you talk to all the time, being able to actually, see them in person, activate with them. It's going to be full-time party for you.
Yeah. I may take me out of one of the Canadians to pick on and just go take their local park over.
Oh, you got to do that to Dave for sure.
Yeah, that's funny. All right, guys.
I have too many. Yeah, you won't leave.
Yeah,
it's too easy.
I know for a fact I can't take over none of your all's parts because you all. I know 5505 or something.
Oh yeah, but that's 5082 is the trail. We got the escarpment. We got a bunch of area or trails that But yeah, no, you could take any one of our local parks. I have 50 more of them that you can't touch. So
maybe
go ahead and take one.
Maybe I'll just do my kilo in a day at a Canadian 15-fer.
Yeah.
Well, we have a 4-fer for sure, but limited hours access, unfortunately. But there's plenty of 3-fers. You could do your kilo a day in a 3-fer for sure.
How many could I do on a bicycle?
I didn't even think of that.
How many could you do on a bicycle?
Yeah.
Oh man, you could do a couple of 10 park ropes for sure, easily.
Now wait, does a kilo in a day count at a 3-fer?
Yeah, it'll be 3 kilos in one day.
Oh, it'll be 3 kilos in one day.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
No, it's like I my first kilo in Virginia, I did it at twofer, so I got a freebie out of it. Like, why not?
All right, guys, we'll be over in after chat. If you want to come hang out, you know where to find us. Thanks for all the donations. Don't forget, tomorrow I drop a video at 4 o'clock, but it's not going to be your normal video from me because it's actually going to be a stream from me. And when it pops up in a little bit, you're going to be surprised the title of this stream. It'll just be me. It won't be Dan. It won't be Hayden. It'll just be me all by myself doing a live stream. You figure out what it's going to be about.
All
All by myself. And then me and Dan and Hayden and Mike, Hayden if he makes it, Mike if he makes it, we'll be on shenanigans on New Year's Eve, wrapping up this year with our normal crazy antics, and we'll probably do a look back at some of our favorite shenanigans and stuff. 73, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
73.
Merry Easter, Joe.
Merry Easter.